It's time to take action. Balanced life, happy life, a better way. All right, this is video F. This is the wrap up and some more basics, and the last in our series of 6 videos. All right, hello again. In this video, I want to provide you with some specific information to wrap up this series with some final key business basics. Now, this is video F, more business basics, and it's the 6th video within the series of videos. Again, you should watch them all, and you may want to watch them several times so that you gain a really good understanding of everything that you can do to make your business successful. All right, let's proceed. So in building from the ground up direct to Royal Diamond, the component of each rank is helping other people build their business and then create leaders, and then which are the silvers, the golds, the platinums, the diamonds, and the royals. You saw this in video C when we talked about the compensation plan. Now, each of the ranks after silver is made up primarily of people going silver or gold or platinum and diamond, and those are all components of silver. So therefore, the key to time is based on, well, how long does it take to create a silver? And this then is followed by how many silvers or golds or platinums or diamonds do you need to produce to reach the goal that you're after. When you have, say, 5 or 10 silvers, leaders, or golds or platinums in your business, then your business can grow by that many people every month. And of course, that's the benefit of our style of business. So the key for most is understanding what can happen when you do an activity. In the beginning, results don't happen instantaneously, but they build over time. And with persistence and continued effort, they all get created. So let's take a further look here. Now, to make sure you understand how the business works, here's a bit of a potential scale of growth, creating leaders in your organization. And then again, this is an example, this is an idea, this is something to think with and then use to create other examples. But one, you develop your team, which would be your direct seniors and executives, and get started and reach silver in a month or maybe 2 at the most. Now, the faster and quicker you go to work, the faster and quicker you're going to get the job done. And by looking at some of the previous videos, you get some ideas of how you could get that done. Now, from there, you then take one of your distributors that's in your personal group and you help them become silver. And you can now get that done easily in a month. So you've now gone to 2 leaders in your organization, you and another one. Now the 2 of you each go out and again look for one new person to go silver, which takes you from 2 to 4. And again, this can happen in 1 to 2 months. And then the 4 then can produce another 4, which is 8. And that can be done in 1 or 2 months because everybody's just producing 1. And 8 can then produce 1 each, another 6 is 16, and so on. So after a year of doing this, one can start and then build a team upwards of 60 plus leaders. It may not end up exactly like that. It might be 62, might be 58, but you get the idea. It grows similarly. And the more people you have working on creating leaders in your group, silver and above, the greater the results that can occur. So, for example, when you had 200 in your group is going to grow much faster than if you only had a handful. And when you take into account structure, how to build, ranks, and volume, it all can work. Simply learn and do and call for help when you need it. It's the bottom line. Now, you want to practice creating an organization as explained above to see what the end result looks like. Then work it backward to see where you are, and then that becomes your plan and instructions of what to do. Get with your mentor, get with your coach, get with your support group, get with your upline, spend some time, work this out, and this is how the business works. One of the most important pieces of information to understand is that your success comes about from helping others get what they want. And your income comes about as a result of what your customers purchase, what your personal group produces, and what your leaders produce. When you create activity below you, like this picture shows on the left, it creates volume, it creates strength, And the deeper you take this, the stronger the group becomes. And this applies to all distributors. So work in depth and help build down many generations below you, as is shown in the picture. This is what helps create your ongoing long-term income. Know your customers, KYC. This is so important. It's a distributor that creates a customer base. It's a distributor that also finds other distributors. And as you have seen, this goes on and on and on if you plan and direct it to do so. Now, there are basically three customer types, that's consumers of the product, that are retail customers, and you know who they are. There's the distributor customer, and they are key to your success. And then there's the wholesale customer. They want the best price. So the best customer is the distributor customer, because besides consuming the product, the distributor finds others to consume and distribute the products. And that is the best way to grow your business and create larger and larger volumes, which in turn creates larger and larger incomes. And if you remember some of the other videos, when you look at structure, you look at how an organization grows, and you look at ranks, this all fits in perfectly. Let's get real here. What I observed over the past 35 years is that not everyone will do what is required for whatever reason. Those that will, and those that won't. Not much you can do about it. I learned early on that the best people to talk to were productive, busy people who wanted to go somewhere and create something, yet hadn't done so already. So in other words, they had dreams to achieve. By helping these folks, long-term relationships were created and huge profit centers resulted. So it becomes really important to understand who you're dealing with. Now, my biggest test was to give an instruction to see if it does or doesn't get done. I did this because of observation. I saw that those who were seriously interested participated as they wanted to know and learn. Once I had a person realize what could be created here, there were no hesitations to get started, and most became very good at solving issues that were needed to move forward. What we do here is really simple. We help distribute the company's products. That's it. So, what's the best way? Well, that depends on what you want and what you're willing to do and how you engage and how much time and effort you put in and what you want to accomplish. So, no matter what, those apply to everyone. Issues that can be accomplished one step at a time. Remember, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. One of the best tips for success is to recognize what it is that you are producing. And by producing, I mean, what is the result of all your busy work? And how does that create some form of exchange so that you have something of value to exchange and earn as a result? Now, there are two main activities that we do that you want to take a look at. The first thing we do is find and sign up distributors. Distributors find customers and other distributors. The second is to find customers. Customers remain with you when they're getting benefits and are satisfied. They become something you produce. So the exchange you get, you work and find a customer, they buy the product, you earn a commission, there's the exchange. Distributors stay with you when they are getting what they want. They become something that you produce. So when a distributor is getting what he wants, they're creating volume, they're earning an income, and you're earning an override. There's the exchange. So when you are building your business, the most effective route is when you produce successful distributors in your organization. Now, success is relative to each individual, but your success depends solely on helping others get what they want. That's what you're producing, successful distributors. Help others get what they want and win. Your production board, your roadmap. Really, a picture says 1,000 words. The picture at the bottom left here is an example of an organization's structure, and it's based on what is required to receive the income set up in the goal. Now, the general idea of putting this on your wall is it is a statement of what you're going to accomplish. Now, at first, you put up just the circles, all spaces are blank. Then, as you get results, the actual name goes in the space. When I did this, the name went up in pencil, and once they went to work, it went and did what they were saying they're going to do. It went into red, and then once they got to the rank that they were supposed to get to, it went in black. And so it was kind of like when I produced a movie, we had these production boards of all the scenes and what was supposed to happen in each scene. And as the scene was, it was ticked off. We went to the next scene and we edited it and all that sort of stuff. So once something is done, you check it off. In this case, you put it up on the board. It also acts as a map, a guide to what's next. It's not so much what you've done, but what have you got left to do to finish the project. You can easily see where this is when you have the blank spots and the spots that are filled in and where you need to focus. So I'd get up every day, I'd look at the board, where are there holes? That's where I got to work. That's who I've got to find. I'd put my attention on it. If I needed help or support, I had an upline or a downline that was involved. There was where the communication was. We went to work. Now, it also makes playing a bit more fun because there's a lot of satisfaction in putting up a name on the board or helping someone reach an intended goal. So use it and you'll see a huge difference in your results. This next piece, your presentation book, was extremely valuable, and in today's world, it can be done in a number of different ways, but a picture says 1,000 words. Whether it's a presentation book or something on the internet, having information that backs up what you're talking about is the critical point here. You know, sometimes we talk too much and we don't have the information, and people's retention of what you say is really poor. And so when you have it in writing or you have it in a book, you can constantly refer to it. And this would include examples of business structure. This would be an explanation of each rank. This would be success stories or milestone events, you know, what's published in the papers or what's published on the internet. Product information, you know, what's the product made up of? What are the ingredients? What are the costs? What's the price list? And what's most important is your goal and your plan. Now, what I found very fascinating is that if you have your goal, your plan, and how you're going to get there in writing with all kinds of detail, all kinds of pictures, all kinds of information related to what you have to do, then you can show them or the person that you're talking to what you're doing. And this helps really create reality, and it creates trust, and it creates a situation where they begin to see that you've got the answer that they want. Then it's easy to make a plan for them. Create your presentation book, or it could be a web-based presentation, and see how your business grows. You'll be amazed. Okay, so in summary, you've learned about the company, you've got some product technologies, you've got many products and ways that you can use the products to build your business, and what the opportunity is. In section B, video B, you got some of the business basics of how this business works. And these are all important aspects. In section C, video C, you learned about the compensation plan. And in video D, you learned how to make the money, where you work, structure, plan, rank advancement. And in video E, you've got some ideas on launching your business. And then finally, in this video, video F, you got some more business basics as a wrap up to the whole program. Now, is there more information? Probably. You could add a lot more to it, or you can simplify it. You can use this. What you've got here in these videos is everything you really need to get your business going and develop your style, work on your strategies, methods, get your results based on who you are. And really, in my 35 years in this business, that's what I observed. People did that. And from here, you may want to review these areas again and follow this by discussing your plans with your sponsor or your mentor. And getting a mentor, I think, is a huge idea. And even if you have to hire one, it's a good investment. So enjoy. I hope this helps. And we'll see you on the Niken Highway.